So what would you suggest to young women now?
So who I usually really want to speak to is young men.
That's when I remembered that when I was at uni, there was this guy. He was all right and everything, but at night he'd change. He was a proper predator towards women then. We called him Rapey Pete.
There is like a rape culture connected to student life, which is really disturbing.
So the whole thing is situated in a society that is patriarchal. Every time you leave the house, you are catcalled, wolf whistled, told to cheer up, told to smile, comments made about your body, about your tits, about your bum.
Men manage to get on trains and buses and walk down streets and keep their pants zipped up and not touch anybody. So we know that men can control themselves.
Sexting, you know, sending pictures of your body parts, you know, your genitals. At school, and unfortunately the stark reality is that children are doing this regularly. And I don't think there's that understanding that actually it's a criminal offence.
So he'd go out and get nos, laughing gas, persuade girls to sort of come back to his flat, saying that he'd give them free nos. And I think that's where, well, I know that's when he took advantage.
It's well-educated man. It's not like we can say that it's people who are from like a certain socio-economic background, or that it's, or they don't know better. I mean, they should know better.
This is different from sexual intimacy, which is about love and sharing and exploring. I think this is about taking something from someone that they don't want to give you, and that in some way this makes people, men who do this, feel big, feel powerful.
It's not about sex. It's not about attraction. It's about getting off on, making somebody else feel uncomfortable, or actually doing something to somebody else that they don't want.
It's truly frightening. During the course of their time in university, between 20 and 30% of women will be a sexual assault victim.
There was one night when we were all off out. Rapey Pete took a girl, physically dragged a girl back to his flat. She was screaming. He was laughing, thinking it was a joke. Her friend went back to go and get her, got a few texts later on. We can't find her, we don't know where she is. He takes advantage of her from what I know. All her friends are in this flat, she never comes back. She's scared of him, so we speak to him about it, ask him what happened. I don't care, mate, it's just a girl, I'm on to the next one.
Actually simply being able to tell someone often makes an enormous difference to an individual survivor. So being able to tell someone, being believed, being heard, having your experience validated, that can be a massive life-changing experience. And then if we know enough to signpost somebody to some ongoing support that might make a difference, so much the better.
Sexual assault is not a subject people want to talk about, and women get silenced when they try and raise it. The sad thing is that the services have gone down, so the funding is less. There are less rape crisis centres than there were. I
feel like I have a standard where if one student is a victim of sexual assault, then we've all failed. And by that, everybody's failing at all times.
I think we need to encourage students to report matters and feel able to report matters, but they are at the centre of what they want to happen.
So what would you say to Rapey Pete?
Perhaps when you were a child, there was somebody, a teacher who was a bit scary, a parent or another adult who was a bit frightening towards you, even a bigger boy who was a bit of a bully. You remember that vulnerability, you remember how scary and hard that was. So if you go out and behave in a sexually predatory manner towards a woman, that's what you're doing. You're putting yourself in that aggressive position.
Be aware of what you can and cannot do here. You are not entitled to anybody else's body, you're not entitled to anybody else's mind, and you're not entitled to anybody else's attention.
You're the problem. You might think you're clever or funny, or it's your God-given right to do what you do to women. But what you do has lifelong consequences.
It isn't appropriate, it isn't acceptable. There is a thing called consent, and that should be respected, it should be honoured, and you should take accountability and responsibility for your own actions.
Is that really who you want to be in life?